Hello everyone, this is Juan Sarmiento and today is Thursday, October the 8th. Today I'm hoping to show you a few methods that I use to roll over, decide when to close a position, and things like that, okay? And the first thing that is important is every Thursday you're going to have to think, do I do a rollover? Do I close a position? Or I simply leave it alone. So I have here my current account positions in my watch list. So I'm going to go one by one, making that decision and illustrating to you how I make those decisions. So let's go to Apple first, analyze trade, and show the position. Okay, and here we have that my shorts are expiring on November the 6th. I say I simulated trades, and you see that November the 6th is 29 days to expiration. So that's plenty of time. I leave it alone, unless, of course, I felt that the stock had run too far out, up or down, then I would make some adjustments by closing calls or puts depending on the direction of the stock. In this case, we have here November 125 calls and the stock is at 115. So there's no need to do any changes on that. And the expiration is being 28 days away. I don't need to do any rollovers. All I need to focus is, are my deltas slightly positive? Yes, they are. And that's all there is to it, okay? No need to change anything. Let's move on to the next one, ATVI. And you can see here that this is where the stock is, okay? This is the slice here in the middle is where the stock is. And this is my strike price here in the cone. And if the stock moves strongly down or strongly higher, we might make some changes. Okay, so it's moved slightly lower. If it goes below this smiley face here, then I would make some changes. I don't feel that I need to do that. And the shorts expire November the 6th. Let's take a quick look at the chart and see if I can make myself an idea of what is happening here. The stock is trading below the Ichimoku cloud and that makes it bearish. So I'm bearish and there is a trend here. I'm using my channel here and from the high point, let me see if I can do this. It's not helping me much. Anyway, it's not making the chart possible, so let me see. There we go, finally. Okay, so this is my trend. And you can use that trend if it breaks above it or below it. You know, right now it's in a downtrend. Ideally, you would make a channel here rather than just a single line. But I'm going to remove that. Try it again. It's not helping me. There must be some bug in the system here. There we go. I keep clicking, but nothing happens, so I'm gonna let it go. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, so this is my trend, and if it breaks below this trend, it's likely to continue on lower. And so my trade is doing fine in there, okay? But at some point, I would roll down my puts, meaning sell some of my 85 puts and buy something lower or simply close one. We'll see as time goes by what could happen. Let's move on to BABA here. Sorry for the delay on that. Right, so BABA is, my strike price is 290 and my expiration is November the 20th. I need to change nothing. And if it goes above the line here, this smiley face at 322, then we'll consider selling some calls or moving them, rolling them up. No need to do that right now. Let's move on to something that I could do something about is Caterpillar. Okay, this is the current position. Okay, so in this case, we have 16 days, 16 of October is my expiration. Let's see if I add simulated trades is 8 days. So that's next Friday. Okay, so we do need to do something about this. Don't know exactly what yet. We could simply roll it over by closing the October shorts and selling something later on, let's say November. Since my longs are December the 18th, we're fine with that. So we could do that and then collect time value. And let's go take a look at the chart. And in the chart, you see that we have earnings coming up. And that's before the November expiration. So actually, in this case, because we are in the cone, we are in the middle of our, very close to our strike price, I don't really want to do any rollovers. This is the time to simply close this position. The stock is not moving strongly higher or strongly lower, so the best thing to do here is close. So this is in green is my original trade, so let's hide that. And we have $621 in profits. I can simply invert, let's assume we didn't have that, I can simply invert this, analyze opposite, and that's the closing trade. Okay, and in this case I'm selling it for $33.32. Okay, well above my original price. Let's show all and hide the original trade, and you can see that that is what we're going to get, $606. Okay, closing this position. And that frees some capital for new trades. So let's close that, confirm and send. Okay, just to be clear, I'm closing this trade because earnings are coming up. And what happens with earnings? Volatility tends to drop, and if volatility is high right now, it's going to affect my position, is going to reduce my profits or even turn into a loss. So you need to close that because of earnings. Okay. There are some times in which I go over earnings, but hopefully I would have some examples in the future to show you that. Okay, let's move on to Facebook. Okay, Facebook is right down here at the bottom of the range. Let's see the Analyze tab. Okay, here it's negative, as you can see, and we have November the 6th, so that's fine. Don't need to roll the shorts over. We have, obviously, at some point, we roll down the puts and then roll up the calls or vice versa. I don't know which happened first, but let's look at the Monitor tab and say Account Statement and go 60 days for Facebook. Yeah, let's go even further. We've owned this position for quite a while, it looks like. Okay, so this is my original trade, and I have done rollovers and roll-ups and roll-downs, as you can see, you know. So let's see, Facebook here, we have, it's been a winner for the year. So let's see what I want to do. Being a slightly delta negative, I could try to make it more delta neutral. Let me take one more look. Looks like it's going to go up, but by the looks of the Ichimoku but on this side it's different, and earnings are coming up as well. Okay. In this case, we would, if we wanted to close this, we'd have to do it as a combination. Okay, let me just show you here how to do this. That analyze rolling, double diagonal, with all the 255s. There. Okay. No, that's not what I want, but it will serve me to adjust this. Okay, we want to close the Novembers by buying them back and sell the November 6th and buy. Okay, let's say analyze opposite. Okay, and here I can change my strike prices. No, the strike prices are fine. The November 6 is the ones that I have to buy back. November 6. And the ones that I have to sell are the November 20s. Okay, but as you can imagine, I'm not closing the entire position because I have the 95 calls and the 45 puts. And that's a strangle. Here it is. Okay, and less you can do less. I really have no preference to which one to go. So first, so we want to do the one that is more expensive, that will give me more of a credit, and this is the strangle, $15. Okay, times 100 is $1,507. Let's sell that, and then we sell this one as well. Which one fills first? It doesn't matter. And as usual, I will make sure that this gets filled, even if I have to reduce the uh, ask going forward. Let's move on to Home Depot. That was my diagonal. So we still have that. I'll go back to that. Let's look at Home Depot here. Home Depot looks very similar to Caterpillar. It's in the center of the cone, but in this case, we might not have earnings just yet. Let me take a look. Yeah, we just had earnings recently, so it's a long way to go. Okay, so what about the options? Should we do a rollover? Yes, we're 8 days to expiration, so yeah, we can do a rollover in this case. We have some profits, okay? $383, not a whole lot, but we want to kick those ends in case the stock moves strongly. So that's what happens when you do a rollover. Let me just show you. We want to select the shorts, both of them, and say analyze rolling trade, and select double diagonal. Okay, and that gives me October the 23. We don't want to do that. We want to go to November 16th, something like that. We have November 6th. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's see, add simulated trades, and then November 6th, here we roll down, 29 days. Okay, so we want close to 30 days to expiration when we select the options to roll to. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I'm getting $10.25 times 100. So it's $1,025 of credit. That's $1,000 we can use for other trades. Let's move on to Lowe's. And once again, we'll look at the chart. They just had earnings. We are in the middle right here. This is you can see it's a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could break out to a new high or break down. And in either case, we want to do the rollover so we can kick those ends out. Let me just show you. Once again, these are October, so we are going to do exactly as we did for Home Depot. And we're going to go to November 6th. And those two, in both in calls and puts. And look at what it looks like. Once we do that, it looks more delta neutral. And so that means if the stock goes up, great. If it goes down, volatility will pick up and we'll make money. Okay, and you can see here that the options we are selling have a higher volatility, and that's good because that means we're getting more money for them than the options we're buying back. Let's do that. And again, if I need to adjust the price, I will a little later. Let's move on to Nike. In this case, October 23rd, and that's more than a week. It's 23rd, it's 15 days to expiration. That looks great. I don't think I need to change anything. Let's take a quick look at the chart. It's breaking to new highs just now. I'm going to leave it alone. Let's do TJT, that's target, analyze trade. Okay, in this case, you see that the stock has gone up and is now very close near my smiley face. And this is October 16th. Once again, we are very close to expiration. Now, look at what I'm going to do here. I'm going to remove everything so that we can see this clearly. Okay, so we are a week to expiration. What happens if I were to buy back the puts? Analyze closing. They're 11 cents, so they are practically worthless. So I don't need to buy them back because these are 45 and we're 160. Do you think that the stock will go down to 145? Possibly, but not probably. Okay, so I don't need to change that. I can leave it alone. But the calls, analyze rolling, and no, let's say analyze closing first. That has a lot of value, $16.65. It's deep in the money, okay? So in this case, if I let it be, I will be assigned, and then I end up with 300 shares short. You can do that, but I suggest that if you don't want to be watching to see whether you have the calls, because if you have an IRA account, you should not have. They're not going to allow you to have short shares there. And if you have a cash account, you are going a margin account, you are going to require a lot of capital to keep those shares. And so in this case, I would like to roll over the calls, but not the puts. And then next week, on Thursday, I could afford to sell more puts near expiration. And we will do that next week. For now, we just know we have to roll over the calls. Leave the puts alone because the stock can still drop. Okay, that's still possible, although not probable. And the calls, if the stock keeps going up, I'm going to be assigned and I don't want that hassle. Okay, you might, maybe yes, maybe not. In any case, I'm going to do the rollover. Analyze rolling. And I'm going to, again, go to November the 6th or November the 20th or 13th. Let's go to the 13th. Let's look at simulated trades. November the 13th, that's 36 days. Yeah, you either November 6th or 13th would do fine. And yeah, I'm going to do that. And when you do that, notice the delta. Okay, if I don't do anything, then my delta is 19.41. If I do it, it will be 50, quite a bit more. And you can sell one of the long calls to neutralize your deltas. Let's look at this. Yeah, I think we want to do that because the stock is making new highs. Okay, so let's, first of all, before we do any rollovers, what happens if we just simply sell one of my calls here? Analyze closing. I'm getting $2,000, but only one. And I say, that looks too bearish. But add to that the rollover, and that looks still bearish. Okay, so also another way to do it, instead of just selling a call, is to roll up the calls that are outstanding. Analyze rolling. And that roll up of 3 outstanding calls, looks like my trades are filling, okay? Here we have, I'm going to close 3 of my long calls, 45 calls, and I'm going to buy, purposely buy, higher strike price calls. And that gives me a credit without making my trade too bearish. Let's see, 160. There. Okay, that's very close to bearish. Okay, we can do very, very close to the delta neutrality. And I like that because, in all honesty, this stock is a little overextended. So I want to do that. Again, here, if we do the, let's do the rollover first, okay? I just think I want to do that first. And once it fills, I will do this one too. Let's just do it as well. Okay, now I have a little more urgency to do my roll up. But it will get filled. If not, I will alter. Now, I have a few trades left that I need to alter to make sure that they fill. Okay, for example, Facebook is 1507 and the working, I need to make sure that it's close to the working order or lower. Okay, let's do 15. Give it a chance to, let's do the lows here. And look how much more I'm asking. So I need to adjust that definitely. Make sure that it fills. Don't get stuck on always getting the best price. That's not always going to happen. And this is the strength. No, that's a vertical. Yeah, that's the roll up. And let's reduce. Let's say 235 to make sure that it gets filled. And bingo, it gets filled. A few cents more or less are not going to break your budget. Okay, that lows also got filled, and now I only have my Facebook to get filled, and that's this triangle. And look at my, yeah, let's reduce that. Spread is pretty large, so we can go down some more, just to make sure that it gets filled. And that's all for today. We got them all filled. And for today, we are up $106. So things are looking nice. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Please be sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Once you have done that, be sure to also click on the bell so you get a notification of future videos coming up in this channel. Be sure also to click like if you enjoyed this video, and feel free to share it with your friends and family. Thank you very much.